You live.
What's going on, Village? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Francesca White, for Conversations with Fran. Woo! Child, we made it. Listen, the way this day started off, I thought I needed to go back to bed and try it again. So much has happened in one day, but here we are, 6:30 in the evening. The sun will be going down soon. So let's go ahead and spend our hour together. You know me, I don't want to take up a lot of your time, but I'm going to make good use of your time. So I'm happy you're in the building with me. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And before anything else, let me give the biggest shout out to what We Are LA Productions for making Conversations with Frank happen. I'm more than grateful and always willing to do what I have to do. So here we are at episode 4. I hope you're ready to get into it. We're talking about the pandemic parenting, back to school, and we have to talk about Greenleaf. Child, that's why I'm in black, because I just don't know. I just don't know how to feel. I really don't know how to feel right now. Pastor Greenleaf looked like he's had a stroke, and some more stuff is happening. So we're going to get into that later. But first and foremost, I want to check on my village. I want to know how you're doing, how you're feeling. If everybody's feeling all right, put your hands in the air, get your teacups ready for later. We're going to do some things. Listen, I want to go ahead and get that phone number out there to you early, because I know you're going to want to call in. I know we're going to have some good conversations. Let me tell you a little something. Conversations with Fran.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
It's not one of those shows where it's going to be a whole lot of cussing and a whole lot of that stuff going on. Why is that? Because I realize at the time that my show, the time that my show comes on, parents are getting ready. They're getting ready for for dinner with their kids. They're getting ready to wind the day down and stuff like that. And I want you to be able to listen to me run my mouth while you get your day together. And so I want to say hello to everybody in the village. Hello, and thank you so much for being with me today. We're streaming live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. And so what I want to do first and foremost is I want to check in with the village. I want to make sure that you already received your calling numbers.
Have you on the phone.
And then I want to get to my Black Girl Magic shout out. I got a special shout out today.
A link and it's going to come in on your phone.
I wanted to highlight
your phone horizontal.
That caught my eye a couple of weeks ago. And so we're going to get into that in a minute. All right, so let's go ahead and do it one time. There it is. For me, call in 424-390-6993. 424-390-6993. All right? We're going to take 1 second and we're going to make sure that we got everything connected. Gray, I think somebody's hearing your phone call at the moment. That microphone might still be on. Yeah, I can do my own sound effects.
Hold on.
Ooh, oh, your favorite mom just said, tell Anthony stop talking so much.
He said, my bad. Hey, all right, we good to go. Roll me to my Black Girl Magic shout out for me. Okay, can you all still hear my producer? This is what happens when he doesn't eat his Wheaties. I told him you need to get some sleep. I see you, BG. I see you, Letitia. Thank you so much, Miss Karen. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, take me to my huh? No, that's my little baby girl. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Yes, she has 3 pictures. I wanted everybody to take in how beautiful this little girl is. So her name is Jason Shaw. She's a twin. And so these pictures that you're getting ready to see, or that you're looking at right now, I had the opportunity to sing at a beautiful homegoing celebration that was held outside at Inglewood Cemetery. And, I remember back in the day, people used to say, you don't dress your kids in black. But let me tell you, this beautiful little girl had this umbrella, and she had so much personality, and she was smiling. And as you can see, she is serving up serious black girl magic. And make sure you check out the shoes, the rhinestone bows on the shoes. Which picture have you run to now? Because I want to see too. Yeah, look at the baby. Oh, she stole my heart. I promise you, for like 5 seconds, I wanted children. 5 seconds. And then I got over it. I got over it, and I had a picture and a souvenir to take home. But yes, that's my Black Girl Magic shout out to little Miss Jason Shaw. I just do believe she is going to be something absolutely amazing. This beautiful twin. And I want to say thank you to her mother special for allowing me to share your beautiful, beautiful daughter with everyone in my village. And trust me, we definitely love babies over here, and we love us some Black Girl Magic. I love the natural hair. I love the smile, honey, and anyone who knows me knows I love pearls. And this beautiful little girl had on a beautiful necklace as well. So that's my Black Girl Magic for the day. Let's give her a hand. Let's give a hand to little Miss Jason Shaw. That's my little baby girl today. Coming up next, I want to hit my Instagram post of the day. I hope you're ready. Here's my Instagram post of the day. Where you put your energy speaks volumes. Where you put your energy speaks volumes. That's my Instagram post of the day. I'm going to tell you why this post was important to me. Simply because last week I decided to share something that might have been considered unpopular, or for sharing about the family and friends gifting thing. And so that might not have been popular with many, and that's cool. But I can tell you this, everyone in my village appreciated the conversation simply because we deserve to have the right to make our own decisions about what we are a part of. Bottom line, that's all that matters. We have to be responsible for that. So I want you to be mindful this week. Where you put your energy speaks volumes. Put your energy into yourself, self-care, especially, look, people are dying, they ain't never died before. Okay. So we definitely want to take care of ourselves. We want to make sure that we are not only that, but being there for our families. You know, if we can't do anything else in this pandemic, we got to spend time with family, and we got to make sure that everybody's okay. Take things into consideration, focus on what's important. And that's where it needs to be. And what you choose to do speaks volumes. So, sometimes people get a little irritated because they feel like they're not being placed first in your life. But let me tell you something. The only thing that should be first in your life is God. And if you're honoring God, you are honoring your family. You are honoring your church family. You are honoring the gifts that He's placed inside of you, and you are using them in an efficient manner. Bottom line, that's what matters. So that's your Instagram post of the day. That's your Black Girl Magic of the day. Be inspired, be encouraged, and move forward in love. Now, coming up now, we're going to talk about our pandemic parenting. Why is Fran talking about pandemic parenting and she's not a parent? Well, because I have a multitude of friends who have children. That's one. Two, my church family is filled with children. Three, I'm an educator. So it's important to me that all of these bases are covered, because now our children are forced to learn from home. And so joining me today is going to be the first lady of, first of all, before I get to where she serves in ministry, she is a wife. She is a mother. She is, wow. She's a choreographer. She is a praise dancer. She is a whole lot of different things to a lot of people. But most importantly, she's a child of God. And she's a great friend to have. She's a great sis in Christ to have, which is how our relationship started. It started in church. We would fellowship Some we would end up in some of the same churches together, going to support revivals and concerts and things of the such. But she currently serves at the Metropolitan Baptist Church, at the side of her husband, Pastor Elton Johnson, and she's just an awesome woman. And so she's going to be sharing with me during this time. My producer's going to let me know when she's up and ready to roll. And then that's who we're going to be talking with. Now, what are some of the pieces to the pandemic parenting? What does that really look like? How has it looked for you? I want to check in with my village. I want to check in with you guys. Put the phone number up for me so I know everybody's cool and ready to get it done. And I think it's safe to say, village, we lost someone. Sorry, I wanted to interject this. We lost someone in our village. Her name is Carla B. And Miss Carla B would check in on Facebook with me. Not only that, but she was always a supporter of me in ministry. And on Sunday, she went home to be with the Lord. And so I just want to send my love and my support to the Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church of Compton, the home of the Compton Cathedral, where Bishop Richard Sanders is the overseer there, and Pastor Raymond Chandler now there serves there. So I want to make sure you guys have that number. Call in 424-390-6993. Miss Carla B, rest in power. I'm definitely going to miss you, my love. Definitely going to miss you. I want to say hello to Miss Venus Cooper, Melissa Melinder. I want to say hello to Dr. Susie Jones. I see you in the building. Say hello to Miss Gina Greer. Miss BG, I see you. Paulette Mall, thank you so much, sis. She says she loves the show. Thank you. I just want to make sure I'm catching everybody. Wow, you guys are amazing. And I want to say hello to Letitia Nelson. Hey sis, God bless you. So yeah, that's what's going on. I've checked in with my village. You all have the phone numbers, so we are ready to roll. I'm gonna check in one more time to see if we got Miss Charlotte cleared and ready to go. Is she clear? Producer, is she huh?
Hi.
No, she's supposed to be calling in. Okay. Charlotte, are you there, my love?
Yes, I'm here.
There we go. Come on, put some hands together in the building for Miss Charlotte Johnson.
Hey,
Woo, child, somebody,
hey.
hey, can somebody bring? Thank you, thank you, thank you, Village. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Can you please, somebody bring my producer some coffee? On my mama, somebody bring this good brother a cup of coffee. Oh, I just received a text that my mom and dad are watching. Of course you are. Duh. Charlotte, what's going on, girl?
Hey, friend.
You
Hey
doing
to
all
the
right?
village. I'm doing all right. I had to get myself together. I'm a mom in the middle of this quarantine, and the producer was like, "You not calling in? We bringing you on." I said, "Hold on, hold on. Give me 5 minutes."
Look, come on, 5 minute face. Look at that. I see you on the screen. Ooh, let him
No.
talk you into that. You see, you gotta have that backbone when you're dealing with my producer, because over here trying to punk. You can't be punking my guest, man.
It's
She
all
was
good.
prepared for what she was prepared for, but since you did it, you came on
We
through
made
real
it work.
quick.
We made it work. We made it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Well, Village, here's Miss Charlotte Johnson, the one and the only Charlotte Johnson. And I'm so happy to have you here in the village with me to let's talk about this pandemic parenting and what this all looks like, what it feels like. So how has the Johnson household
Uh, Well, so we are a family of six total. We have one
oh, Lord.
adult child. Well, I don't want to say adult child. I'm sorry, adult son who is 19.
Yes.
And then we have stair steps. We have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and we have a 1-year-old. So this pandemic quarantine lifestyle definitely was challenging for us. in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. When it hit, we were not prepared. There was no family structure for dealing with having three small children that needed
Yes.
their own attention, as well as trying to navigate with the churches being shut down, because
Yes.
we are in ministry. So it was like church shut down, schools closed, everybody in the house all day every day trying to figure out just how to navigate and how to move. um, I would say it got better after we, figured out what the new norm would look like. But that
Absolutely.
it definitely took some time. It took some tears. It took
Why? Why
teamwork.
tears?
Tears because number one, it's frustrating already, just being a mom and a wife and trying to make sure you give your attention to everyone's individual needs. But normally, you get a break because you get to, send the kids to school, you get to send them to daycare, husband get to go to work or go, run his errands. So I get a time to just sit back and take a deep breath and recoup throughout the day. But with the pandemic, we just weren't getting that. Either one of us, even my husband couldn't take his breather. So it
Yeah.
makes it difficult for everyone. Difficult for the kids because they were used to going to school and
A
seeing their
routine.
friends. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a swift change for everyone. And of course, being mom and wife, I had to help everybody figure it out. Had to ease everybody's frustrations, ease the tension. The kids are even old enough to understand coronavirus. So they were like,
Yes.
well, Mom, we don't want to get coronavirus. Ryan, I don't know if you're familiar with the Asian boy on YouTube who all the kids watch him. And he even has had episodes on coronavirus and telling the
Mm-hmm.
kids how to wash their hands. So my children are asking questions like, Mommy, are more people dying of coronavirus? And if we go outside, are we going to die? So it's all of that. It's navigating your family through all of that. And it was definitely a heavy burden.
I know. I know.
Um, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now what one of the reasons I wanted you to comment is because of, I mean, of course, you wear a lot of hats, and you've been doing it well, sis. I have to
Thank
give it
you.
to you.
To
I've
God be the
seen.
glory.
Yes. Because, like you mentioned, ministry takes a lot. And contrary to popular belief, uh, virtual ministry is much harder than, regular just going to service every Sunday. Church is already set up, good to
Hmm.
go.
Yep.
A lot of us, the majority of the churches in Los Angeles are not used to the pickup and set up the pop.
Right.
Okay, this is not gonna come out right. Okay. Um, but the majority of the churches in Los Angeles are not used to pop-up shop church, where
Right.
you have to
Right.
set everything up. I'm
Everything.
sorry, but I'm just being honest. My
Mhm.
producer shaking his head at me. I said I was gonna be good today, but I'm just being real, but we know some people that's how some of their churches started. They
Right.
had
Right.
to set up the chairs every Sunday, make sure all of the instruments were connected, set
Right.
up the sound system, the whole nine. Theo Wilkins, he's one of them.
Right.
When he had God's House of Praise,
Right.
that he had to
Orlando.
set up.
Mhm.
Yes, and he
Mhm.
did it for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So there are some who are already set up. So, I mean, I know this is kind of off topic, but just because I've seen the pictures of you manning the system.
Oh my God.
I'm serious. I've seen the pictures of
Yeah.
you manning the system while your husband is up there preaching. I mean, listen, Village, I'm trying to tell you, when I say she is a team player, she is a team player. Okay. Like when God gave Eve to Adam, God gave Charlotte to Elton. Okay. Bottom line, let's just get it together. And so, on behalf of the kingdom, sis, we love you
I love y'all too. I love
for
y'all
what you
too.
do.
Man, listen. It's I know this is not what the show is about, but I really wish that everyone that is in line and wants to be a wife, that they understand that there are often some times where you will have to um make sacrifices
Talk to him, sis.
for
You
your
got the
mate.
microphone. Go.
I know this is not what we talking about today, but I see so many women like, oh, I can't wait to be a wife. But
So
this
they think.
season has really been has really expressed what it means to be a wife, to step up in ministry. Because, we're so quick to say the husband is called to be the pastor and, I'm just married to
Mhm.
him. But I have had to, help him pick up the pieces. And I would be less of a helpmate if I didn't help him, because I see
You
where he
talking
needs
good?
assistance. And,
Yes.
you have to know how to, and that's not just in ministry, that's just a husband and wife. Like, my husband needed help, and I was like, okay, baby, like, what we got to do? Let's get it. I was on YouTube learning all the streaming apps and how does this work,
Oh,
learning
you
media
went to
stuff.
YouTube University?
Listen, every
Girl, I got a
day.
master's degree. What you
Yeah,
talking?
okay, every day trying to learning media and stuff. I'm like, these are not qualities that I'm good at. But, again, doing all that while trying to help my kids navigate through, homeschool and virtual learning. So that's why
Yes.
I said that beginning phase was just rough. It was a lot to learn. I felt like I was cramming for a final, and I was gonna feel like
Yes.
I was back in college. Like, I know
Yes.
I was at these parties instead of studying. Lord
Listen.
help me. So eyes burning and all, burning midnight oil. But, thank God we have made it and are still making it through.
Absolutely. That's awesome, sis. That's real awesome. And I really hope the village is listening, because I've said it several times. People think they want ministry. They think they want a pastor. They think they want, I mean, I know some people that used to say, I can't wait. I want to be a first lady. And I'm like, oh, do
Yeah,
you know what that means? Like,
right,
it,
right.
honey, it's more than a big hat.
Yeah,
Okay. It's more than dressing up for the pastor's
yeah,
anniversary, putting on new outfits.
yeah.
It's so much more,
So much.
and I'm gonna tell you something, sis. When the pandemic started, it was right after the pastor's anniversary at our church.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah. And then here we go. By the time we get to the fourth Sunday of the month, doors of the church are closed to the public. And here we are trying to stream live.
Mm.
And we did not have the equipment for that starting off, but we had to make it do what it do.
Yeah,
And so what I said to the congregation was, my father's the pastor, but I'm his daughter,
right,
and whatever he's doing, that's what I'm doing.
right,
So,
right,
um, I'm sorry, he's the head of the house, and
right,
that's what it is. And I come from a home of order,
right,
and my mother has not one time left my dad hanging
right.
when it comes to anything with the church. That's just what we know to do. So in the process, I grew up learning how to write letters, how to communicate with other church secretaries and stuff like that, just being around my mom, and
Mhm.
once again, parenting. So we're still in the
We're
thing.
still in
I
this. We're
was,
still in this.
I was working my way back. I was getting there. But I'm being honest. It's definitely been a whirlwind, and definitely take my hat off to you. So let's dig in real quick. Let's dig in, because I don't want to keep you from your family. It's already 6:58. Family, remember you can call in at 424-390-6993. Um uh Miss Charlotte is definitely, she's watching the comments as well. So if you have something for her, she can chime in and give her opinion on that as well. So pandemic parenting, how are you keeping your kids from being bored in the house, being in the house bored? How are you managing that?
So it is, again, this is tough. I don't want anybody on here to feel like, when I'm expressing the things that I'm saying, that, I have it all figured out. This is still everyday learning and
Sure.
navigating through.
Yeah.
But just a few tools that I used. We had to just figure out what worked for our house. What works for my house might not work for the next person's house.
Mhm.
I learned that trying to keep a schedule was not working. I was like, okay, we're gonna get up, they gonna eat breakfast, they gonna have their little PE time, then we
Okay.
gonna learn, and then they gonna get dressed. It did not work.
Okay.
So once I realized they were better in the afternoon, like, I would let them play in the morning, get them dressed, and then in the afternoon I was like, okay, now and I had to do them one by one, because a lot of people were on Facebook and social media like, oh, the parents, shouldn't be tripping about your kids being home and it should be easy. But I have toddlers that
Hmm.
needed help I had to log
Yeah.
into the system, and I had to sit there with my child while he looked at the videos from his teacher, and then put his homework into the computer. So I had to be hands on with each child, and you can't do them both at the same time. So I would try to do 2 hours with one and then 2 hours with the other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I figured out that I had to lock one up in the room. Well, not lock him up in the room, but like, you go play.
You said it.
Did I say that out
You,
loud? No, I'm just
you
playing.
said it out loud.
Go, you go play. It's your brother's turn to be
Yes.
on the computer, to be on the iPad, to work
Yes.
on his homework, and then you have next. Because then it came into, well, how come he's on the computer? I want to be on the computer now too. It's like, no, it's not your turn. So then once I developed that, and then I would switch it. So then the next day, the other
Who
one would
gets
go
to be
first.
first?
Yeah. So so that
Can I
was the
suggest
main thing.
something real quick?
Uh-huh.
Because one thing that I found interesting was when your younger son saw you working with the oldest son, it sparked his attention. And in child development, they have it's a keyword called scaffolding.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is once the child shows an interest, you jump on that interest immediately.
Yep.
Because they've shown that, okay, well, if he's working, I'm working. And sometimes children, peer to peer learning is very good. It actually enhances it. And sometimes, Charlotte, it actually takes some of the pressure off of the adult.
Right.
And then all you really have to do is supervise. So, and then it's one of those, and then what happens is, because, the first time it'll go good for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and then you lose it. Okay, well, you can sit here and work on yours. And, if they each have their own, well, you can sit here and work on yours, or you can work on this activity while I'm working with him. But you do know this is his time right now, and it's still a learning thing, because now it's like, I appreciate the fact that you're teaching your children to sit down at home. So when they get out in public, and I've seen your babies, they know how to act in church.
On Sundays, they don't do so well on Wednesdays for Bible study, but Sundays they do all right. Wednesdays I'm still praying on. For some reason, Wednesdays is a playground. But yeah, and you're a PK, so you understand this concept where
it's something about running up and down those pews and letting your arm burn on the seat. I don't know what it is.
So I was like, I don't want anybody to be, the pastor's kids is always running around in church. So I really, try to teach them the value, the sacredness of the house of God early. So that way they know, like, and not just at our church, at anybody's church. Like, you're not gonna be running through here.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that stuff starts at home. So I've really been trying to just implement that. And then we also had to incorporate more fun stuff. I went and I bought more sidewalk chalk. I bought more bubbles. I bought more stuff that they can do at home. So, I mean, we don't have a playground at the house. So when we go outside, I'm like, it's only so much riding your bike you could do. So,
absolutely.
Our sidewalk was lit up with blue, red, every color sidewalk chalk you could think of. The porch.
Yeah, because children live here. Like, it's like, there are some that feel like, you can't have all that stuff going on. And I understand if some live in gated communities where you have a bunch of, excuse me, Karen Thompson, and I have to use your name because, well, this is the name we use for a certain type of individual of the lighter persuasion. If you live in a gated community with a bunch of Karens that, police the neighborhood, then yeah, I can understand you not being able to personalize your area where your children, feel welcome. This is my work. This is what I've done.
Right.
This is what they're used to. They're used to being in school. As soon as you get there, if they painted anything before they say hi, mommy, look, they want you to see their stuff. They're proud of their work. So, I mean, kudos to you for definitely opening up and allowing your children to be children. What other activities have you tried to do with them during the pandemic?
So then we had to start having more family fun nights. I mean, we do the Johnsons do a lot. We go a lot of places just because we are in ministry.
Yeah.
And I don't want my kids to just eat, breathe, sleep, church. So we take them a lot of different places. So with this, it was like, okay, now we're all stuck in the house. So I had to start taking advantage of playing games with them. I went to Target. I bought,
Okay.
Pictionary. I bought they know how to play. Well, they think they know how to play Monopoly. Don't try to play Monopoly with the Johnson kids because they really think they
They
know
gonna
how to
cheat.
play.
They
Every
skipping gold. They skipping jail, just collecting
yeah, just
200.
but I was like, whatever makes you feel happy, I'm fine
Right.
with. And then just letting them be. One day, Elijah, which is the 4-year-old, he
Okay.
pulled out some Easter egg dye out of the cabinet, and he's like, "Mommy, I want to dye Easter eggs," and I was like, "Boy, it ain't Easter, no." And then I was like, "You know what, boy, Britt, pull them out. Let's go. Let's dye some eggs. It at this point, it does not have to be Easter." For you to, because I'm just looking for something to keep their attention, to keep them
Right.
engaged, to keep them happy,
Right.
because they have made mention like, oh, I'm bored, like, okay,
Mhm.
we're over it now, like, where are my friends, when am I
Mhm.
going back to school? So any kind of fun activity, family game night, Fandango, and all of those other streaming movie sources that are out there.
Amazon
We let
Prime, Netflix,
Yep, all of them.
Disney Plus.
We let them take the remote. All right, what do y'all want to watch?
Yeah.
And Evan really holds us to that. He's like, okay, it's family movie night. We're not watching the mommy movie and the daddy movie. What let me pick something. So, we let them navigate through the remote control, and I was,
Yes.
like, okay, I think when Trolls came out, like, we couldn't go to the movies, and it was $20 to stream it, at
Yes.
the house. And I was like, you know what? Here, we paying Fandango, we paying this $19.99, and they want to see this movie, we're gonna watch
Right.
it.
Right. Because Quiet as Kept, had you taken the whole family, you would have spent more than $20 anyway. So I
Listen.
definitely understood,
Yeah.
when they started making the video, I thought that was awesome. And then the fact that, because the crazy thing is, while we were doing virtual learning, during the fourth quarter of the last school year, there were days that, my boss and I, we're on Zoom, and we're waiting on kids, to come in if they're going to do office hours or whatever. And
Mhm.
if they didn't, we took advantage of, it was one, because I was trying to see if this was something that could be a part of our PD. It's the trial of Gabriel Fernandez.
Okay.
Um, and you've seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Tragic, and it was just, we were talking about those things because those are all, everything that happened with that storyline
Right.
was stuff that we talk about during our orientations before we start the new school year.
Okay.
So, we took the time to kind of review it, to possibly make that proposal. And it was just crazy that we were able to use Zoom, to sit there and watch it at the same time. And
Right.
and you don't realize how much you miss people, the connection, being around people. And it's like, if adults can't handle it, of course the kids are going through it,
Right.
not being able to see their friends and things. So thank you for sharing that. And I hope that the village will definitely take advantage of some of those concepts. So let's go ahead and slide into this back to school thing. I'm gonna open it up real quick for you, Charlotte,
Okay.
and then feel free to chime in. So for me, we started back to school this week, and we have a shortened schedule. Our kids have class between Tuesday and Friday.
Okay.
Monday is used for office hours, which I appreciate, simply because before the pandemic, I was the main one saying that I don't think people who serve in ministry on Sunday should have to work on Monday.
You right.
Please,
Hallelujah.
give me extra hours through the week. Just, I don't want to work on Monday because I'm tired, and I literally feel like my week never ends.
Right.
It's just never ending,
Right.
So I have to admit, during the pandemic, I have been able to get some rest. I haven't been to an afternoon service since the fourth Sunday in March. Okay, for those that don't go to church on a regular basis and go to every service every time the doors bust wide, if you might not understand that worship right there,
Yeah.
that it's from 11 to 12 and then I'm home. God bless you.
Mhm.
But now that we're back to school virtually,
Mhm.
uh I mean, who would have thought in 2020 kids are doing online classes like they're going to the university around the corner?
Right.
The responsibility level of it. But I'm gonna tell you what concerns me about the virtual learning. For one, everything is on the computer, so they're not writing anymore.
Mm-mm.
Penmanship is going to suck. Okay, and it won't matter if your child is aspiring in the medical field, possibly physician assistant and upward. Fine, you can have horrible handwriting.
Right.
But for the rest of us, we need to understand what you're writing. Okay,
Right.
and chicken scratch is not it. Okay,
Right.
all right. So we definitely want to make sure that the kids are still writing. And so one of the things I wanted to be able to share, kids need to have an area to work. And one of the problems, Charlotte, that I have seen in my outreach time when I'm working with my students and communicating with parents, the kids are running the show.
Mm-hmm.
The kids are determining when they're going to work and when they're not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden now they can't wake up for a class at 10 a.m.
Oh wow.
when before the pandemic, they had to be at school by 8.
Right.
And for some of the charters, maybe a little bit later, like
Mhm.
8:40 or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So but either way, by 10 a.m. you were in class in a chair with a book in your hand.
Yeah.
And we have kids that I had some students that would get on and they're I couldn't wake up, or I fell asleep, or I stayed up too late playing Fortnite,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Call of Duty.
Mm-mm.
What's that, NBA 2?
2K.
You didn't even have, Charlotte, you didn't have to, the producer, he didn't even have to look up to say no, 2K. Yeah,
2K. 2K. Yeah.
2K.
2K.
Madden and all.
Yeah. All of them.
All of this stuff,
Yeah.
and it's so stressful because I'm like, what in the 2020 parenting is going on? Like,
Yeah. See,
help me, sis.
yeah, I think that's where it starts to get a little tricky when you start to weigh. I know that we're staying safe from coronavirus, but there are also things to consider. There's the lack of
Yes.
social skills. There's the lack, like you
Yes.
said, of penmanship. Accountability and responsibility that you learn from going to school. I was
Absolutely.
talking to one of my friend's son the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't even see why we got to do homework. Like, what's the purpose?" And I was like, "Homework is really not about homework. It's about teaching you responsibility and accountability. Because when you grow
Charlotte,
up,
can I tell you something?
yes,
And I hate to bust the bubble for a couple of people, but with Corona,
mm-hmm,
this is what happened with LAUSD.
mm-hmm,
The parents were told that no one would fail fourth quarter. If they passed third quarter,
they pass for,
they
mm-hmm,
would pass fourth with at least a C.
yep, yep,
A disservice has been done
mm-hmm,
simply because there are a lot of people who walked across the stage.
mm-hmm.
And when they say giving honor to God, who is the head of my life, to the coronavirus that helped me graduate,
Graduate,
tell the truth, shame the devil.
yeah,
Okay. There are a lot of people now, but there are a few that didn't, because I know a 12th grader that did not make it across the stage, but that's because he just flat did not do any work. He just gave up the ghost
right,
and decided I'll try it again in summer school. And I thank God he's going to actually graduate after he completes this first semester of the
right,
new school year. So he pulled through and got it together. But I think because he got disappointed and he knew we weren't just going to let him slide, because he was already in credit recovery,
right,
So there were some special situations, but for the most part, those that, they probably had a B or a C in third quarter and then really didn't do anything at all in the fourth quarter, they made it on through.
Yeah.
And and kids were hitting me up, Miss Fran, I made it to the 8th grade. Well, praise Corona. Like I didn't know what else to say. Like, well, toodaloo for you. Like, very good. Now guess what? That's the reason why I wanted to talk about this, Charlotte, because this school year is not going to go like that.
No.
We're actually ready for the structure. And it's really because, watch this, sis, a lot of teachers were not teaching in LAUSD. So now, and those that are in charter schools, and I work at a charter, because we're under that heading, that means that whatever LAUSD is doing, that kind of affects us in certain respects as well.
Right.
And so because they didn't teach and do what they were supposed to, and I'm not speaking for all of them because I got LAUSD teachers in my family. So no shady pines over here. I know what you do. Okay. When we had several conversations about what we do in our classrooms and stuff like that. But there wasn't a lot of instruction going on and people still got paid. So they've really tightened up now for this school year, So I really wanted to stress to the parents, and I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, with the village over here. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because I know the village got their kids in check and working it on out. But you got some friends that you have to take a deep breath when you talking to them because all you hear is confusion and stuff in the background and not work going on. So speak to this for me. There is a possibility that after this semester, and this is only because the superintendent of the LAUSD is beholden to the union, which is UTLA, for teachers. They're deeming it unsafe to return back to school. So there is no possibility of us going back in fall. At least that's the understanding now. And of course, Governor Newsom makes the final decision. Shout out to Governor Newsom for president after we get Trump on up out of here and Biden does whatever he's gonna do. That's my vote.
Kamala.
Come on, aren't you excited about that?
I am. That's a whole nother discussion though.
It's coming. We gonna come down that street later. But yeah, so this is the thing. We already know for sure we're not going back until at least January. Are you gonna send your kids back to school?
Absolutely.
Now tell me why.
So for all the reasons that I just discussed, I watched my children become sad and depressed about not being able to interact with other children.
Depression is real.
Yeah. When I hear my 4-year-old say I'm sad and I don't have any friends. Now, again, this is my story. This is my situation.
Talk your talk.
My kids are the only kids in my family on both sides. Everyone else that has children, they're grown, they're older. So my children only get to interact with kids when they're at church and when they're at school. So when you shut down church and when you shut down school, all my kids have are me and my husband and them as siblings. But they're still in adolescent ages to where they don't fully understand or know how to cope in this type of environment. So I made a decision that my children will go back to school. Now, I'm not in any way saying that coronavirus is not real. I'm not saying that that they're not going to be safe. It is going to be it's definitely gonna be by chance, that I send them. I'm taking a risk by sending them, but I think that with their social skills, the things that they're lacking from not going to school, I think I would rather them be in an overall sense. I need them to be socially okay. There are too many kids out here committing suicide now, too many young kids. Evan has already been my 6-year-old. I'm talking like everybody knows my story. My 6-year-old.
I was coming down that street because I'm curious why you would send Evan, but before I say that, I'll let you go ahead and explain
So my 6-year-old is immunocompromised, so it definitely is a risk to send him to school. But he has already been in and out of the hospital, and his social skills, and his size is an issue. So he's already trying to navigate through making friends, going from the church where everybody loves him at church, and then when he has to go to school, he's like, okay, they don't know about Team Evan. So he was just getting in a good phase of understanding and learning how to make friends, learning how to navigate through somebody not liking him or some people being different. And you don't get that by being at home with your family who loves you all the time. You will not really fully understand how to navigate through life, in my opinion. I think that school and being around other children, the things that are taught in classrooms, the things that are taught on playgrounds, when somebody pushes somebody on accident and you have to go apologize, when somebody takes your toy. Here, when somebody takes a toy, it's a fight automatically, and then here come mommy and daddy, and we loving on you, and we break. Like, there are different consequences when things like this happen in the school setting. Now for Evan's school, they're actually not going back 100%. It's still going to be a hybrid setting. So we're in Fontana USD. So so they don't all the way follow what LAUSD is doing. So I have to go pick up his laptop tomorrow. And when the state fully opens up, then they're just going to allow them to be at school 2 days a week as opposed to 5 days. And then the other 3 we have to do at home. But I do feel comfortable in saying, okay, you're going to school. They have, social distancing measures in practice. I mean, he's in the first grade, so the amount of children that he's going to be around are going to be different from the junior high and the high school. Now, if they were in junior high and high school, I might reconsider my decision. But for preschool and for first grade, I believe that my children are going to be okay. My preschooler starts tomorrow. His school actually never closed. I pulled him out for my own reasons. Yeah, his school is full of they cater to essential workers, so they never closed. And they actually hired a cleaning company that comes in all day and they clean throughout the day. The classes were smaller. The teachers were wearing masks. Parents were no longer allowed to walk their children to class to, keep the interaction down. But I did pull him out, just like I said, on my own, for my own personal reasons. When this all started, like, let me just kick back for a minute and see what's going on. But after months of them still being open, still doing their full summer program,
have they had any cases?
No cases. I did check before.
I know you're gonna do your homework. I already know.
So so my biggest thing though, friend, is that I think people need to do what is best for their family. Because again, I'm on a Facebook group for people that filed for unemployment. There are so many people who were not able to get on unemployment. There are so many mothers that still have to go to work that they can't afford to stay at home with their children. People have filed for unemployment and the unemployment denied them because they're like, your kids being home from school was not a reason for you to quit your job. So if these people still have to work to take care of their families, and their kids have to go somewhere. So you have to do what's best for your household. Stay in prayer. Stay covered in his blood. I believe in faith. I'm not scared of corona. I know corona is real, though. We have people that we know that have passed away from it, people we know that have overcome it. But for my children and for the situation that I have at home, with watching them only being able to interact with children their age, I don't want my kids to only just be around adults and not understand what it's like for conflict resolution, for just being a kid. I just want them to be able to be a kid. So again, because Evan's school is halftime on, halftime off, I was like, okay, I talked to my husband about it. We prayed about it. And I was like, okay, we'll do this. And if I ever feel that they're unsafe or that there's something going on that I don't like when I go drop them off, I will immediately
make
snatch
that
them out.
decision.
I will. But I think for me to sit back and say, I'm not going to let my kids go to school. there are a lot of people dealing with anxiety and depression, and some of these kids are not safe at home. Some of these parents are literally going crazy, and I will not allow people to mom shame these people or dad shame too. You know, you never know, it could
Yes.
be a dad dealing with it, but anxiety is real, depression is real. Some people are not handling this at all with having their kids home all day, trying to work from home, just trying to, you know, figure it out, not getting a break. Mental health is real for adults and
Yes.
for children.
Say
And
that.
I think mental
Yes.
health, well, our mental health is taking some of these people out just as fast as Corona. I don't even want to pull the
Absolutely.
numbers. I don't even want to pull the
Yeah.
stats. But if we could be
Absolutely.
honest, mental health is just as important and just as a disease that's running rapid in our community. In
Absolutely.
our community. And some of these parents need breaks, mental breaks. Some of these parents are killing kids. Like, whatever you have to do for your family, what's best for the overall purpose of your family, I think is the decision that people need to make.
Absolutely.
But for me,
Absolutely.
the little
I like the
Johnsons,
fact.
they are
I'm sorry,
going.
sis. My bad. Go ahead and
Okay.
finish.
No, I was just gonna say the little Johnsons are gonna be going to school.
And that was the reason I wanted you to share, because I know, and just based on one of the comments that I saw on YouTube, I know that your take on it was definitely going to be a bit unpopular, and that's simply because, but you have to understand, if the proper precautions are being taken, and
Mm-hmm.
if that school was able to remain open, because of the population that they cater to, I would have to honestly say that is a blessed situation for you.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I definitely understand, why you would allow, your youngest boy to go ahead, Elijah, to go ahead and go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely was really interested in hearing this, because, Evan has he is a warrior, okay? And I'm here for the warrior babies of the
Right.
world.
Right.
But he's definitely a warrior. He has been under the knife more than I have, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I've had no surgeries compared to what he's been through, since birth. And I'm always amazed and just in awe of God when I see Evan, because he's definitely a miracle. And so that was one of my concerns, like, how, what precautions are we going to
Right.
take, to keep Evan safe,
Right. Right.
and but your reasonings, behind social and emotional skills, I can definitely appreciate that, because we definitely want to keep our children healthy, mentally,
Right.
and being able to be around others. No, I don't believe that this pandemic is going to last forever. Yes, I do believe that we are living in the last days. I
Right.
do believe that there are some harder days to come, but I think our children have to be ready and they have to adapt. Because let me tell you something, we deal with, especially in child development centers, there's hand, mouth, and foot disease.
Oh
You
my God.
got all kind of stuff,
Both my
measles,
kids had
chicken
that.
pox. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
There's so many other things that are out there that could
Yeah.
possibly, get a kid sick or
Right.
something. So we definitely, want to make sure that we're keeping our children safe. And the one of the things I wanted to share, because it's 7:28 and I'm still gonna get to my Greenleaf real quick. But
Mhm.
one of the things that, I wanted to share with people, um, your kids, one some of the tips that I have, especially for virtual learning, and these are things that the teachers are going to appreciate. One, make sure that your child has an area where the kids can work.
Right.
you know Make sure they have a quiet area, they have their computer set up, they have all of their stuff together where they'll be able to work and work efficiently without a lot of background noise. That's one thing. Two, they still need to have their normal, the children still need to have their normal, tools. They need paper, they need pen, they need pencil, so that they can take notes if the teacher is, presenting something, or they ask them to write something so they can turn it around and show it to the teacher. um Leave room for them to make some mistakes. It comes with the territory. You definitely want to leave room for them to make some mistakes, because things happen, that sometimes they need a little more space, in their schedule.
Mhm.
But there are some things that you cannot change, and and that's the availability of the teacher. Understand this: all of the teachers have some form of office hours. You
Mhm.
know, they have office hours where the kids can they can go in and talk to the teacher, or set up some time with the teacher to work with them one on one. If you I know a lot of school educators that are available that will work with the children, and utilize the school staff. Okay, these people are still being paid, so utilize the school staff, and that might be a great time for you to kind of have some me time.
Right.
Definitely you want to check in from time to time on what's happening with the lessons, because as teachers and educators, we appreciate parental support. Okay. We don't want it to always be on us, because sometimes, especially if your child has a behavior challenge,
Right.
I'm just gonna let that rest. Okay. If your child has a behavior challenge, you definitely want to make sure that you are close by. Okay. So that way you can tap Johnny on the shoulder and tell him to get his life together.
Right.
Okay. If you have to pull him out to go have prayer, however you pray, if you believe in the laying on of hands, oh, bless his name. That was for Dr. Susie. Who? Who was that? Markel? He says I don't listen. What do you mean I don't listen? In the middle of my show, I don't listen? That's what the producer wants to say to me in the middle of my show. Okay. But that don't mean we talking about it right now. He could be on his way. That's what he could do. He has something to say. Charlotte, let's entertain the foolishness real quick. Put him on. Put the black man on. And then we're gonna talk about Greenleaf. Village, we going into overtime. We going into overtime tonight, just a little bit. And Charlotte, if you got a dip, I do understand. But
No, he
I
just
feel like there's some foolishness coming.
he just popped his head in. I did want to say, for the parents, make sure that they take their me time. We didn't do that in the beginning, but we do now. My
I hear in
husband
the
dipped out.
background.
My
I,
husband
Hello?
dipped out. Oh, I'm
hold
sorry.
on,
Go
Markel.
ahead.
Charlotte is talking. Hold on.
When my husband needs to make a Home Depot run that take 2 hours, I'd be like, hey, go on and go through every aisle. Go ahead. Let the producer talk.
Hold on, Charlotte. Markel, mute your background. Okay, now let Charlotte talk. We can bring him in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, sis.
I was just gonna say, for
Mhm.
the parents that are overwhelmed with homeschool, virtual learning, working from home, self care is important. Me time is important, even if it's 5 minutes just to step away, go on the
Yes,
porch, sit down, inhale, exhale. We didn't do that in the beginning, but we're better at it now, to where
yes.
we take turns. I know when my husband needs to tap out. I know when I need to tap out, and he's like, "Okay, you going to Target?" And I'm like, "Yep, I'll be back." So
Tart, is that your happy place?
listen, for 2 hours, and I only need one item, but I'm like, just to get that breather or whatever. The
Right,
grocery store is out now, like, just to of course, with my mask,
of
and
course.
staying safe. Of course, I don't want
Yes,
nobody to come for me, but yeah, just to whatever you need to do, go work out in the backyard or on the front yard, whatever you need to do to just have some time to yourself, all alone
yes,
from everything and everybody.
yes.
So I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
the producer was trying to chime in. Okay.
Oh no, you good, you good. We
Okay. All
we
right.
we, we put brother Markel on hold.
Okay.
For the- 'cause
I want to be out of order. I don't want to be out of order.
No, you don't. And listen, I want to say to you and the family, I want to say thank you to your family for allowing you to step away. This and I just want to make it clear, this does not count as her self care time. Okay, all right.
Tell him, you
So
listening, Elton Johnson? You listen. Don't try it. Don't
this
try
does not count, okay? Because EJ is whatever you do unto this week, it will be done unto you next week,
it.
okay?
Right. You
Because
know. Yeah.
Right. It's a Johnson's twofer. We have Lady Charlotte today, and next week we're gonna have her husband EJ. Because he started a series. Is he close by?
No, he just popped his head back in the room talking about what you say, what y'all talking about? He watching in the other room with the kids.
Right. He's gonna be on next week. Because he just started his series on entanglements, his sermon series. And so I cannot wait for KB Strouder and Elton to have this conversation with the ladies. Next week is ladies' night. So I need the ladies all in the building for this conversation. Call up your friends. We're gonna have some watch parties and we're gonna get it together. So on behalf of me and my show, I just want to say thank you for being with me today, for sharing your opinion. Child, you've been rolling with me for a couple of weeks now, and working through some things. I just want to say thank you for being my sounding board.
Yes, ma'am.
My venting post.
It's all good. You know, it's all good.
You don't play with our money. God bless. Give them the disclaimer. Charlotte don't play about her money,
my
her
time,
husband, or her children.
There you go, right there. Don't do it. Don't
get your life together.
You want to see a different side of the first lady? Just don't.
That part.
That part. Money and my husband. Mm-hmm.
There you have it. And so, listen, thank you for hanging out with me today, Charlotte.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. I appreciate your opinion, and don't be a stranger to the village, y'all. Once you become a member, you're always a member.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care, sis. Let's give it up one time for Lady Charlotte Johnson in the place to be. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. Whew. Let's breathe that one out. That's what that pandemic will do to you, to make you tired, and it will run you low. Okay. Do I have Mr. Coleman on the line?
Yep.
What's going on, Mr. Coleman? What did I do wrong now?
You keep grabbing them headphones.
See, I told you, producer, that I was getting that folks was on my head about these headphones. Well, you know what? I've never known you to be one to hover on a problem. So you're always a solution driven individual. So how you gonna fix it?
Yeah, we can work that out.
That's what I'm talking. Listen, that's what your day ones will do for. Oh, I just touched the headphones again. I'm just glad to hear you. I'm glad to know that all is well. And because you were gonna pop in today, but we got something else coming up. Something else is going on because I can't talk to the moms. I need everybody to know I'm fair. I can't talk to the moms and not talk to the dads. And so I have two good brothers that are going to step into the room, and they are going to be talking about co-parenting. Oh, bless his name. I'm looking forward to that conversation. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Tell me why you're looking forward to that conversation, sir.
Because I don't think people will be ready for my side of the story or my point of view.
Here we go again with another unpopular opinion. This is going to be good. And that's just it, you all. I have to give you all sides of the coins. I can't just sit here and one side story it. I can't sit here and act like I'm always on the side of the ladies, because listen, in being friends to a couple of good brothers that had some interesting situations, I've seen them do wrong. Let's just keep it 100. I've seen them do wrong, but then I've also seen them do right and still be treated wrong. And so those are some things that we want to talk about, because I realize that I'm a woman of a certain age, amen, and there are some younger women out here that are mothers, and sometimes they are using some of the same methods that their mothers used in keeping them from their fathers. And then there were some fathers that weren't doing what they were supposed to do, and that was the reason why the mom made that decision. So it's coming. We're gonna get there. Here we go. Okay, he has piqued my interest even more in the conversation. Yeah, it's gonna get a little tough. It's gonna get a little tough, but we're gonna be okay and we're gonna get through it. I want to say thank you to you, Mr. Coleman, for calling in and checking on me and making sure all is well. And I'm gonna do my best to try to keep my hands off these headphones. How about it?
Yes.
Was
Please do.
was I upsetting your OCD?
Just a little bit.
My bad. Okay, look. Before we get out here, because I'm already over time and I've been doing very well these last couple of weeks. Having our producer with getting off and getting in on time, but stay close by your phone because we got to have a quick conversation after the show. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for checking in. All right, family, village. The time I listen. Whew, I love every piece of my show, but the one thing I love the most is talking to my village about Greenleaf. Listen, I told y'all I'm in black. I almost decided to call my mom and ask for one of her fascinators. Because I wanted to be ready. I don't know how to feel. Okay. The episode of Greenleaf last week left us in tears and we were screaming for grace the same way Lady May was. Last week, everything kind of just came to a head. Okay. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I really wanted to beat Carissa up again because the response that Fernando gave Grace when they showed up to because they had filed a temporary injunction to keep the church from being torn down. And little Miss Judy is, our light bright associate over there, Miss Judy, was standing on her head ready to blow the church up, but her father said to wait until he got there because he had an announcement to make, which was he's running for Senate. But he never got a chance to make that announcement because everything blew up. Pastor Greenleaf comes in the church along with Tara and Rochelle, which are the children of Daryl, the father that was killed in the fire years ago. His two children are standing there in the church while Bishop Greenleaf expressed the fact that he really had nothing to do with their father showing up that night to the old church back in the day where the fire was the church caught on fire and no one knew that the caretaker for the church was downstairs in the basement and he burned alive. Okay. No one knew. And so Bishop told it, he should have known something was up. He should have known that something was up when Lady May's brother called him and told him to go have a conversation with Miss Loretta, who was the white lady that was the owner of the home. And so in the meantime, between time, we find out that Basie Skank's father, Basie Skanks, Tara, Rochelle, their father, the one who burned up in the fire, was the son to Miss Loretta, who owned the big mansion that the Greenleafs now live in. And so Lady May had decided that she was going to honor the first will and give them the house because they had blood right. They had blood right to the property. And so she was going to relinquish. Listen, y'all, this has been deep. And it is definitely a series finale to see that's coming up tonight. And I cannot wait to see it. But the show ended with Bishop sitting on the edge of his bed after everything has happened. And it looks as if he's had a stroke. Now, listen, y'all. And then he falls back. Because Lady May was getting herself all together. Let me tell you something. From thin line between love and hate to Greenleaf, Lynn Whitfield is still killing the game. Okay. Sorry, I am not a hater. If you have kept yourself together, God bless you real good. Okay. She is aging gracefully. And so she's getting herself together because she's getting ready to go in and tell her husband that they're going to do their I do's again. And there he's sitting on the edge of the bed about to die. Now that was a hard scene for me to watch, because my grandfather died of a massive stroke, and I didn't get a chance to see him. I didn't get a chance to say bye to him, because I was 9 years old. But I always wondered what happened. What did he look like? What was going on? And so and anybody who is in love with this show the way that I am, and I know that there are a lot of people that are, my heart was breaking just sitting there watching that, because it's like he was truthful, he was honest with the church about how he even got the church, and that was because he took out a loan on the mansion that he was living in order to build Calvary. And it's like this man is losing everything. His family is going through it. They're falling apart. Like, what else could possibly go wrong? And so this has definitely been a whirlwind, because once again, people don't understand ministry is hard. Supporting your parents in ministry, it can be difficult, because I'm gonna be honest with you. If somebody like Rochelle's character was coming after my dad, oh bless his name, somebody would find out why Jesus saved me. Okay, because I'm a daddy's girl, and you don't play with Dr. White. Okay, that's bottom line. Okay, let the record reflect. Write that down. Put that in the comments. Don't play with Dr. White. Okay, so the it's definitely brought everything full circle. And tonight, when this show closes out, it is definitely this show is definitely going to be missed, especially for me, because I really appreciated the narrative, even some of the unpopular topics, some of the scenes that might not have been too popular with the church community, and that's because there's some things we don't want to we don't want to show it publicly, because we don't want it to look as if we condone certain things. And I love the fact that the show remained unbiased in its position on a lot of things, that a lot of the scenarios that they presented. So I think if we've learned anything from Greenleaf, it's one, take your pastors, first ladies, and pastors' children off of these high pedestals. You're hearing it from a PK. Take them off the pedestals, okay? Because the PKs are in positions that they did not ask for. We serve in ministry because that's what our family is doing, and we work as a unit, okay? But we're still human. We're still going to make mistakes. You're still going to go through things, and definitely probably say some things sometimes that you wish you can take it back. But I think we all know once you said it, you can't take those words back, if we've learned anything else. But listen, Village, it's been great. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with you all. I want to once again thank Lady Charlotte, wow, for sharing so much information with us. It's been absolutely amazing, and I truly appreciate your opinion. And I'm looking forward to more conversations in the future. Village, I want to say thank you to you for being as amazing as you are. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you hang in there with me, and we make it happen. My opinion may not always be popular, but I'm going to always give you the real, and I stand behind anything that I say. Listen, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget that it's all about We Are LA. I'm definitely reaching into some areas, and I have some other things that are coming up. I'm just waiting on God to tell me which way to go with it. But as always, I say thank you to my producer, Anthony Gray. And please keep in mind, I wanted to make sure that I do this. There are some other shows on the We Are LA channel. So if you're into politics, he has a show for that. If you're into, if you want to hear a pastor's perspective, but in a real life situation, real life conversations, you can check out Rashad Hall's show. Talk That Talk. What is it? Real Talk with Bro. Did I say it right? I said it right. Real Talk. On Rashad Hall YouTube channel. My bad, but we in the building, so that's what we're gonna do. And then we got tell me the name. We got Talk That Talk, relationships. We got that show going. And so there's just a lot of things coming up and more things are being added. And let me tell you, the subscribers, you are definitely responding because those numbers are steadily climbing. So I definitely want you to check out the We Are LA channel. Make it your evening pleasure. How about that? All right, y'all. It's been good and it's been real. It's 7:49. I'm over my time. But I did have a good time with you. It was good to see my village. It was good to speak with you. But guess what? I'm out of here and I'm going to see you next week.